Hi, so this video discussion will tackle some of the end of the chapter exercises and problems from chapter 5 strategy and the master budget. So let's start with multiple choice number 21. So at this point, kung hindi nyo pa nababasa yung multiple choice number 21, I want you to pause the video and read understand, no, analyze multiple choice number 21, which is about Davis Corporation. So i-post nyo muna yung video at this point para basahin yung problem. So itong Davis Corporation problem is somewhat straightforward. Pinapakompute sa atin ay yung cash balance at December 31, 20x3. So this year is Davis Corporation's first year of operation. So we start with cash collection. So according to our problem, sales, which is 1,500,000, is 90% collectible. So you just multiply those two figures and you'll get the cash collection amounting to 1,350,000. Yung bad debts write-off is irrelevant kasi po yung bad debts, no, yan po ay non-cash transaction, no. So pag sinabing bad debts write-off, yan po ay meron kang accounts receivable na meron ka ng ebidensya na hindi mo na talaga siya makokolekta, no. So alisin mo lang naman siya sa accounts receivable, so you credit accounts receivable and you debit allowance for bad debts, no? So yun po yung treatment doon. So debit allowance for bad debts and credit accounts receivable. So hindi po siya cash transaction. So the next item that will be included here will be the disbursement for costs, expenses, and taxes, and the purchase of fixed assets. So lahat po ito ay mga uh, cash transaction. So by the way, pinagsama ko na po yung dalawang disbursement, cost and expenses, tsaka taxes. So 1,290,000, and then purchase of fixed assets 400,000, and then issuance of shares, no, nakalagay dito is proceeds from issuance of ordinary shares. So ang ibig sabihin niyan is nagbenta ka ng shares, so merong pumasok na pera galing sa iyong mga investor. So that will be a positive cash inflow na 580,000. And then proceeds of borrowings, so natural, so nangutang ka, so may papasok na pera, so that's 100,000. Repayment of borrowings will be shown, of course, as negative kasi kababasan yan sa ating cash balance, so 50,000. Depreciation on fixed assets na nandun sa book is irrelevant kasi po depreciation, hindi naman siya cash expense. So we will combine the effects of these items, so we will come up with a cash balance of 290,000. So wala po sa choices yung ating sagot. So 290,000. Next, multiple choice number 22, David Company. So again, kung hindi mo pa nababasa yung problem at this point, you need to pause this video presentation and read and analyze multiple choice number 22, which is about David Company. So yung David Company problem is asking us to compute for the budgeted cash increase for the month in the amount for the month of April. So ang given sa atin is net income and then some changes on some accounts, no, increase, decrease, no, and then provision for income tax and provision for doubtful accounts. So yung net income na given is prepared under accrual accounting, no. So to recall, 'di ba, yung accrual accounting na ginagamit nga natin following GAAP, it recognizes revenue even if there is no cash receipts, and it recognizes expense even if there is no actual cash disbursement, no. So yung net income na given na 120,000 is prepared under this basis yung GAAP. The goal is to convert net income to increase in cash by removing the effects of non-cash transactions included in determining net income and including cash transactions that were not considered in computing net income. So, ang gagawin po nating approach dito sa problem na ito, yung net income na prepared under accrual accounting ay gagawin natin siyang cash basis, no? Para makompute natin yung increase or decrease in cash. So, ang goal ay tatanggalin natin yung epekto sa net income ng mga non-cash transactions and ipapasok naman natin yung mga cash transactions na hindi isinama sa pag-compute ng net income. So, let's start. So, from the net income of 120,000, aalisin natin yung increase in receivable na 35,000. So, what is the reason? Pag nag-increase kasi ang receivable mo during the year, that means meron kang mga sales na wala namang kasamang pagpasok ng cash. Kasi 'di ba pag nag-increase yung receivable, ang kapartner niyan ay increase sa sales, 'di ba? Debit accounts receivable, credit sales. So yung increase sa receivable na 35,000 kasama siya sa net income, no? Sa pag-compute ng net income dahil nga yun ay credit sales or on-account sales. Pero dahil ang goal natin ay i-convert yung net income into cash, tatanggalin natin yung 35,000 increase in receivables sa sales, no? So, ang epekto nun, pag nagtanggal ka sa sales, mababawasan yung net income. So, yun po yung explanation natin dyan. Yung decrease in accounts payable, no? Tatanggalin natin sa net income na 25,000. So, i-deduct natin sa net income. That's what I mean, no? 25,000. So, ano naman yung rason? So, pag nagdi-decrease yung accounts payable mo, ibig sabihin, nagbayad ka ng utang, no? Ang journal entry mo doon is debit accounts payable, credit cash. So, if you notice, yung mga account na ginamit doon, debit accounts payable, credit cash, lahat sila or pareho sila balance sheet account. Hindi sila papasok sa income statement. So, hindi rin siya papasok sa determination ng net income. Kaya, ang gagawin natin, ipapasok natin yung epekto nitong cash transaction na to dun sa net income computation. No, ipapasok natin siya. So, para kang magkakaroon ng expense in quotation mark. So, pag nagdagdag ka ng expense, in quotation mark, syempre, mababawasan yung net income. So, yan yung dahilan kung bakit natin dinidak yung 25,000 mula sa net income. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. Diba? Kaya lang, kasama siya sa determination ng net income. Pero since ang goal nga natin ay i-convert yung net income into a cash increase, tatanggalin natin yung epekto ng expense na 65,000. And then, pagka nagtanggal ka ng expense, madadagdagan yung net income. Provision for income taxes na 80,000. So ano ba to? Ito po ay parang accrual, no? Recognition ito ng income tax pero hindi pa siya bayad. Pero kasama siya sa income tax expense for the year, no? So, parang ang entry po dito is debit income tax expense, credit income tax payable. So, you see, expense siya, pero wala siyang kasamang cash disbursement. So, tatanggalin po natin siya dun sa computation ng net income, no? Tatanggalin natin yung expense. Pag nagtanggal ka ng expense, madadagdagan si net income. Kaya natin inad si 80,000 dun sa 120. Next, ganun din to, provision for doubtful accounts. Ang journal entry mo dito is debit doubtful accounts expense, credit allowance for doubtful accounts. So again, ito ay isang expense na non-cash, no? So kagaya nung pag tiningnan mo yung entry, debit expense, credit allowance for doubtful accounts. So kasama siya sa computation ng net income pero non-cash transaction siya. Kaya ang gagawin, tatanggalin yung expense dun sa determination ng net income. Pag tinanggal mo yung expense, madadagdagan yung net income. So we treat this as plus dun sa 120,000. Now, combining the effects of these items, we will arrive at increase in cash of 250,000. So that is letter C dun sa ating problem.